to be, I mean, a lot of cuts to get there. But at the end of the 5 years, in 2019, the general fund actually has a positive balance. We go through the rest of the funds, they either have zero or they have a small balance. So that tells me that it is definitely, this plan has definitely met the criteria that the last one lacked. Is it bona fide? I listened to Ms. Thomas. People sat down together and they talked about the plan. They worked it out. I'm not saying everybody walked away from the table and were, jumping for joy, but at the end of the day, they got a plan. Is it feasible? Time will tell. The beauty of the fact is that it does show that there is a climb out of a deficit position, and a lot can happen in those 5 years, good or bad, but we can't predict that. But at least it shows a concerted effort to get out of that deficit position. That's all that I have to say. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add?
I just have one question.
Sure.
If there is a local government note, that still comes back to this group?
It would,
Okay.
yes. We have to approve any debt.
Okay.
Yes.
And Madam Chair, I would like to say, even though I have some disagreements with the mayor, it is not personal, and I don't take things personal. It is a business situation, and I speak what my business mind says speak. But when we had to come together to do the work on the financial planning, it was unanimous throughout my council. And the mayor did come to the meeting, which sometimes you don't show up at meetings. But he did appear at that meeting, and I was grateful to see him. And we sat down, and we talked, and we found out what we needed. Now, we overlook greed as opposed to the need. You look for the need first, because you can't be greedy on it. So
There's nothing to be greedy over.
so I'm saying that you were right. We did sit down. We did communicate. We didn't disagree. And when I asked for certain things to be taken out of the recovery plan, it was a mutual agreement amongst all of us. So I do want to say I appreciate the fact that we all could sit down, and there was no disagreement when we talked to the law director and the finance director. All of us were very humble because this is something that we were looking forward to dealing with as our city as a whole, not just one or two individuals. Our residents have over the years become collateral damage, and I think it's time that somebody stands up and say enough is enough. And when they feel that enough is enough, they take it to the ballot now. They don't complain anymore. They take it where it's supposed to be. Thank you for listening to me, and I appreciate it.
If there's no other discussion, I would look for a motion to approve the plan.
So moved.
Ms. Thomas moves. Do I have a second? Second. Ms. Nowak seconds. I will call the roll. Ms. Thomas?
Yay.
Ms. Nowak? Yes. Mayor Norton?
Yes.
Helen Forbes Fields?
Yes.
Jeff Heinrich?
Yes.
Dr. Kager?
Yes.
Sharon Hanrahan? Yes. Plan is approved. Before we go on to the determination of the next meeting date and time, I did want to say a few words. First of all, I know this has been a lot of hard work and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And I don't want to dismiss it any, because I can't. I mean, it was a good job. I just, again, want to go back to pointing out on page 9 that in 2018, we're looking at a cut of staff of over 2.6 million. So that the sooner you work on whether it's revenue enhancing measures or expenditure reductions, the better off you'll be. And that perhaps as you get to 2018, you won't be looking at such a drastic cut. In spite of that, I've been asked to say a few words about, well actually it's not even a few words, maybe it's to question. And I know this is a sore subject, but this is for means of information. Where are we at with the annexation petitions and the process to appoint members to the commissions?
Right now, Madam Chair, the petitions that were gathered had apparently some irregularities. To the signers, not the residents who signed the petition, but the circulators that have the petition. Those petitions right now are in the hands of both the Sheriff Department and the prosecutor.
Okay.
And they are investigating and will let us know, the City of East Cleveland know how the investigation or what the determination of the investigation will be. And until that happens, the council has passed a resolution that we will not do anything until we get that kind of information. We did, we made a master plan, a master list of individuals that would be on the commission.
Okay.
All right?
So there are people,
Yeah.
viable people that you believe would.
We did. I asked each counselor to give me 5 or more names. And we made a master list, and from that master list, there will be a form of elimination.
Okay.
So that's where we are now, and as everybody knows, I am opposed to any merger, which is not a merger, it's an annexation.
Right.
There's a difference between the both.
Yes.
So I am opposed to that, but I will say this. We have engaged, as I told you before, King and Buckley, the law firm, on a pro bono basis to look for other options out there. And apparently there are other options out there that's being explored. So we will also have that. So right now, there is no annexation as far as the council is looking at.
And you do understand, I'm sure you understand, that the appointment to the commission is only one step in many. I mean, this commission gets together and they decide between the members, is annexation even feasible? Does it make sense to both cities?
Madam Chair, I'm quite aware of the whole step. I've been over and over. But the only thing that we have to do now is continue to see what other options is out there. And now I think it's time for the council to come out and start talking to the individuals and let them hear, as I heard from one of my members, residents last night, they want to hear the other side, not just one side. They want to hear the other side. And when I have my board meetings, I always pass out the procedure. It's a long process, and it just doesn't come up like that.
Right.
So I understand, and the people that I talk to understand, but what's going on. And if, in fact, these petitions were done and some irregularities in them, and I want to stress again, it's not the signatures of the residents. It is the circulator and some irregularity in the circulating process. And I don't have a problem with you asking that question.
Okay, a reason, because
There was some legal action.
that's what, I mean, it seems to me that there's two competing, well, not one
Well,
that
you
is
mean-
a legal action per se, but I thought that there was mandamus that was filed to force council to appoint, and I wasn't sure what the interaction was
That wasn't the
with the
question that was there.
prosecutors.
It was
Okay.
stupid.
That wasn't the question that was there. The question
I
that was,
asked, well,
the question that was there was
Stupid.
what's going on with the annexation. And that's what I told you.
okay.
Now, if you want to know about some legal action, yes.
And I hate to
And
ask
I
because
am,
of
because
privilege,
this
just
is
generalities.
in here. So
Michael Smith.
yes, there is, and this great brain, great person that looks out for the city is the one that
Michael
could not
Smith.
wait for anything to come about. So Mr. Smedley sued the council individual on a written neighbor. And so
Chief of
basically,
staff.
I'm going to be honest, basically when we talked about it in council meetings, we talked to the law director who is supposed to represent us. That law director told us that she could not represent us.
That's right.
It was a conflict of interest.
That's right.
And advised us to go and seek outside representation.
Yep.
The law director's job is to represent the city.
She's not going to
She was
lose her law
already
license.
representing the city, and that she was representing one part of the city, which was the administration.
She couldn't do that. She said she wasn't doing that either.
Yeah, she's not going to lose her law license.
Okay.
She's
So
not
we all
crazy.
know what the law regarding annexation in Ohio is.
Right.
I was waiting for my doctor to call. That's why I kept going, but I cut it off. I'm
We all
supposed to be
know-
at the doctor's office.
Okay, well, we'll cut it. Okay.
Mahoney, hear his answer. This ought to be funny.
We all know what the law says. The law says that a city council appoints a commission in conjunction with the other city to jointly study and then come up with a plan regarding an annexation. Then that plan is submitted to the public, and the people vote it up or vote it down in both cities. That's what happens. It's a lengthy process. And it says that if a city council receives a petition bearing a certain number of signatures certified by the Board of Elections, then that city council is compelled to go through with that process. It no longer has a choice. We did that. We collected more than enough signatures. They were certified by the Board of Elections. That petition and certificate were submitted to city council, and from that point, city council was compelled. City council didn't act. The only way to get a city council to do something that they're required to do but refuse to do is to file a mandamus action. That mandamus action, there is no fee from the city that was paid to the lawyer that filed it. We are not asking anything in terms of a penalty of the council people or anything like that. We just want the action. Once it became clear to us that council did not intend to appoint that commission, that lawsuit was filed. Beyond that, that's where it stands today. The city does not incur fees from the filing of the lawsuit. But there was the mention of Buckley King as a pro bono firm to come up with options for the city. What was not mentioned was the second engagement by council of Buckley King. City council hired Buckley King to represent it in the mandamus action. So that will cost tens of thousands of dollars to the city. Council could, for free, appoint the members of the commission and let the process carry itself out. We would not seek any reimbursement
Wrong
for
thing to
attorney's
do.
fees and things like that. So that's essentially where it is. Council, under the law, was required to respond to that petition by appointing the 3 members to the commission and letting that commission carry out its work. And for every month that goes on, the city, because of council's lawyers, will continue to rack up legal fees. I didn't mention them earlier. I think everybody's already aware of them. But we really just wanted council to comply with the law and do what the people ask. That's it.
Madam Chair, again, we had the law of the attorneys and that was a pro bono to take care of all of that. But in their agreement with us, they said if anything else came up, they would handle that. We weren't going to use them except for the pro bono work to go out and find options. But on the recommendation of the city law director, who said, I can't represent you. You need to go out and get a lawyer, and the city has to pay for it. Now that's exactly what took place. Now if she, and this is not just something that I'm making up, this is on tape.
Right.
Okay?
But
And wait a minute,
okay.
just 1 minute.
Yep.
It went before the judge, the recommendation, and the judge said, we're gonna hold this until everything is clear.
With the prosecutor and.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that's where it is now. We can talk here for days if you like, but I don't have days to sit here and talk. I got a doctor to see, and I'm sitting here, and he's waiting on me.
One minor thing about the law director for the city.
Yes.
In the city's charter, which we read and we study, there is a clause in the city's charter that says when it comes to petitions, the city's law director has a duty. It's defined in the charter as duty of director of law. Any petitioner developing a petition may go to the city's law director for help in formatting that petition. And the law director has the duty of the director of law to assist that petition. The petitioners went to our director of law and she helped format, like she would with any group and she has with other groups, format that petition. The reason why the law director saw it as a conflict of interest to represent city council in the matter was because the law director had input on the petition. That is the law director's duty with any group of petitioners if that group of petitioners asks.
That makes perfect sense.
And the law director did not explain that to the people that were in the audience and the council. Not only did that not happen, she said, so I just can't do that because I represent
Well, now you know.
another area.
Now you
So,
know.
but what I'm saying, she's
You
saying
can lose your
she
law
can't,
license.
she advised us to go out. And we can, like I said, we can sit here and banter back and forth, but you asked the question, you got an answer, and that's where it is. Now, they sued us and let us, we can see what happens.
Well, I'd like to say something.
Oh, we can't,
You
sir,
can't.
I'm sorry.
Can't right now.
Well, you gotta sign up on the list up
You
there.
sign up.
Somebody put my name on that list.
Okay. Well,
We voted, is there anything else we got to do? You didn't answer that question, Madam Chair.
no, other than set our next
Let
meeting.
me see that list.
December 14th. I don't want to get too close to
What
Christmas.
date is that?
It's a Monday.
We're here jingling bells.
I know. At 1 o'clock.
It works for me.
Okay.
Works for me.
At what time? 1 o'clock.
What day?
The 14th of December.
December 14th.
You will be, absolutely.
This is
I
the part where the
understand.
mayor
Thank you
walks
for
out.
staying, and I hope you get your shovel if you're late for your night. You don't know. What happened?
Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. We have 4 names. Time limitation is 3 minutes. Ms. Toll-Free is first.
Well, be quick. As a community activist, one of the reasons I've said no from the beginning is, first of all, I always tell people, and I've said it to Reverend Al Sharpton, Cleveland, Ohio is my favorite hometown to picket. They came into our community November 29, 2012, right up from my house and shot 2 unarmed people 139 times. I don't want to have nothing to do with the Cleveland police. That's why the justice system, the Justice Department is here. They are a nightmare. We've been picketing them for about 30 years. I had 2 people I've been picketing with and a part of the family that lived off, I guess they were renting, I don't know, I didn't get into their business. They lived off of, they lived on 105 off of Way Park. As far as I know, they rented. We're talking about gentrification and what they do to black and non-white and poor communities. And those people rented for those houses for whatever reason. When they were kicked out, told they have to go somewhere else, I don't know, a few months later, those houses, after they fixed them up, which is now near the VA hospital, they've torn down various places. Those houses went up, my understanding, from renters in a poor place to over $300,000 to own a house in that area.
Yep.
I grew up in that area. My uncle had a barber shop in that area. Half of that building is now gone. That's across from Corey Methodist Church. There were a number of black businesses in that area when I was growing up. I wish I could do what Walgreens said they get ready to do Rite Aid, to pay $9-point-something billion in cash. But see, when black businesses was trying to get started, many times they was burnt out, we were hung, raped, and murdered. So historically, one of the reasons I took my position on no in regards to East Cleveland, Ohio, was because of the history of this country, specifically toward black folks and poor folks. And I will continue to do my picketing, raise hell, and say no in regards to Cleveland, Ohio, taking over East Cleveland, and the powers that be getting us for little and nothing. You, my friend.
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to mess up your last name.
Ron Colucci.
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 Right.
That was simple.
Well, I was moved to speak
Okay.
earlier when there was this discussion with the mayor and council president. I think I could speak for the residents that we don't think, I don't feel that we need all this infighting and lawsuits with the people in our own city, in our own community. And I think we should develop some kind of plan to stop this process of the mayor's office filing a complaint against the council, and that council should let go of their representation and stop spending that money. Secondly, I'm concerned that, well, I forgot what that was, but I am interested in hearing from Helen. She I hear frequently in the past month or so about the outrageous salaries within the city, and yet I hear also from the mayor's office that they're underpaid. I guess, Helen, I would appreciate, after hearing what they both said, I would appreciate your comments on that. Not during my 3 minutes, however.
time.
I would also, I guess I wondered why we weren't given copies of the proposed plan. I think we got the minutes from the last session, but is there a way of getting a copy of the approved? And I guess I could have followed the discussion a little easier if I had the information beforehand.
There were some copies here. I never know how many to bring with me, but certainly afterwards we can exchange names,
Okay.
emails, whatever. Sure.
Also, I wanted, another point is, if ever the city, the residents are going from one extreme to the other, voting people in and voting people out, there's a whole lot of work in between that we can do. We can come to public meetings, we can call our representatives. We don't, every time, I was thinking of, in my own family, I have members who have done some outrageous things, and I never kicked one of them out. I still relate to them, and I think at this point in our city, I don't think we should be talking about kicking people out, except putting pressure on them to do what we want, but not kicking them out.
Thank you very much.
I looked at, I'm not sure where the numbers are, but there, for next year, I believe we need to make cuts of about $780,000. And I just kept hearing that people are earning $60,000, and so I just needed to get a sense of who's earning that money, how many people are earning that money. And I realized when I was law director twice, that when I negotiated contracts, most of the staff here at the city makes a very small amount of money, and most are hourly, I believe. And so I just wanted to get a sense of who the individuals are, how many, because we have cuts that we need to make at least $780,000. And so if we're talking about a few individuals, does that really help us get to that $780,000? That's what I was mostly focused on. How do we get to the $780,000 cut? And if we have these really large salaries, why? And what happens to those individuals? And how does that help the bottom line? Does it really help the bottom line? So that's where the question is coming from.
One thing that was asked of me, the mayor's office or the mayor, neither entity sued the city council. Just neither the mayor nor the mayor's office, the city
Chief of
did not
Staff.
sue city council.
Chief of
An
Staff.
individual who was a member of the petitioners committee did that.
And Chief of Staff.
And actually, that is a normal legal procedure. We talked about it on the way over. When you've got, you say it's a governmental agency and it is not doing,
What it's required to do, that's what a mandamus action is. And private individuals generally are the ones who bring them. So in this case, it makes sense that a member of the petitioner's group goes through.
Indeed. And it's the only remedy available, other than arguing back and forth and trying to get a group of people to do something that they're just not going to do. It's the only remedy.
It's by definition, one of the elements of a mandamus action are no alternative remedy at law. So that it has to be, otherwise it'll be kicked out.
Mr. Struthers.
Okay, I'm behind the camera, so I'm asking about that insurance issue. On October 3rd, Christopher Kimball, young Christopher Kimball, was killed by one of the East Cleveland police officers on Superior. And we were told that the city had a mysterious insurance policy known as sovereign immunity. And we couldn't find any kind of insurance policy that this family's going to get some money to help them to the burial of Christopher Kimball happen and all the things that have gone awry with this whole mess. And we just, as I've told him, I said that this police officer was not on a call. He was not firing up lights. He did not have any reason to take his eyes off the road and kill Christopher Kimball Jr. So my basic question, which I asked this morning by email, is do we have any insurance? Or are the police officers and firefighters, when they cross the line, are they driving dirty? And if we have insurance, I'd like to know what company it's with that's insuring these people, because the Kimball family wants to know, people in East Cleveland want to know, and I want to know. So rather than get in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera, and I'm asking that question. It's a simple question, yes or no. Do we have insurance? If we do, what is it? Or for sovereign immunity, I know that we don't meet the requirements. You lawyers know about sovereign immunity and what its requirements are. If you don't, we put it up on 44112news.com. As far as mandamuses, you're going to have a new one because of my public records request. So we got a new one coming. So you're going to be fighting that one at the state level. But I do want to know, because you got all these people who are supposed to be going through our books, and we come here every time you have a meeting, we hear you guys give this verbiage, but we never hear the right stuff. And right now, the people of East Cleveland want to know. You want to know why they're recalling this man? It's because of stuff like this. They're tired. The people of East Cleveland are tired. We've tried everything with this man. We tried everything with his staff. His chief of staff is suing city council and each other. It's crazy. We put a lot of battle. This has been a long coming battle. Everybody's tired. And right now, we want to know about this insurance. I'm just cutting to the chase. Somebody got killed by one of our part-time police officers who took his eyes off the road. We just want to know, do we have insurance or not? That's all.
Okay, thank you.
While I won't get into details, I'll answer the core question. The vehicle in question, that particular police car, it is to the best of my knowledge, that particular police car does have insurance. The particular police car in question was purchased under a lease agreement. As part of that lease agreement, the city is required to maintain outside insurance.
So what insurance company? See, that's why. You want to know what we're calling them? That's why. You all know that a rental car
Okay.
has plenty of insurance on its own.
Ms. Gowdy?
Yes, first of all, y'all be having these meetings in the morning time. It's like a private meeting with y'all, you know, and it's like, it might be open to the public, but people be working. Like I was at work, I had to come off of work just to go back to work, to come into one of these meetings. Why can't y'all have it at the evening time? We ain't gonna kill y'all. Nobody gonna snatch your purse. You'll have tight security out there, you know. And then, second of all, the law director, she don't lean to the community. She only leans to the mayor and his commandments of what he asked her to do. And that's an issue. We don't have a real law director. We have somebody that catered to the mayor. I was there at the meeting when she actually said that she cannot take the case because she is for the mayor and him only. So we're gonna have to change, and then we need to hire other people outside instead of all the mayor friends. Everybody that's in the office cater to the mayor. And this is wrong, because we can't even get our feet into the door to bring in resource without the mayor approval. So this community is falling because of one-sided. Now, if you don't have the heart for our community, and all these cuts, where is the money going after all these cuts? The mayor already had cut before, and he said this will save us money. He cut officers before, and he came to council and said this will save our community money. So where is the money going? I need to know that. The community need to know that. And we all need to know that. And we wish that these meetings would be in the evening time so more people can come out here and support our community. is some concerns about suing each other. You can't even get along with each other, and if you suing each other, you don't need to be in that building. Nobody need to be in that building. They need to go somewhere until their case comes.
Thank you so
And
much.
replace other people. Put ad in the newspaper. I believe that somebody cheaper out here would take those positions.
Ms. Gotti, thank you. Okay, nothing else for the good of the order. I will look for a motion to adjourn.
So,
Do I have a second? Second. On a voice vote, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, same sign?
nay.
Hearing none. Meeting is adjourned. Stay